Hello, my friends. Dorothy Morgan here, longtime professional astrologer. We're going to talk about May 9th, and what's up after May 9th is May 10th. We have Mercury stationary today. So for the next 19 hours, because that's from the time of this recording, Mercury is stationary and will retrograde on the 10th. So we have that to talk about. But I also wanted to talk about astrologically, just, what's going on with the moon today. There's some things going on with the moon, mainly earlier in the day. So if you catch this late in the day, the frustration might be over. I just thought I'd mention that. And we'll use, as always, the Astro Dice. I'm working on trying to get in these wholesale so I can get you guys some. I used to have wholesale companies. I don't remember anymore. I used to sell all kinds of stuff. But anyways, I'll do my best. I'll let you know in the community here on YouTube. It's written area. Go check it out. And then we'll do this card. Okay, let's get started. All right, so I'm going to share my screen for the astrology for today, what I wanted to look at the most. So here we have, it's like 1 in the afternoon is this chart I have just for my latitude and longitude. But no matter where you live, these aspects are going to look like this in the center of the wheel. I don't have the ascendant and midheaven in here. So no matter where you are, we're going to have these configurations going on. I have this set at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So whatever your time zone, you're going to have these same aspects. Like if you're in Central Time Zone, that means this is noon. You're in Mountain, that means this is 11. The West Coast of the U.S., it's 10. Yes. Giving you a lesson on time zones. Let's get started. First off here, yes, Mercury stationary. It's been at 4 degrees for a few days. And remember the other day, if you saw it or not, I was talking about Mercury. It just was hovering at the area that's considered out of bounds. It was hovering there. It's still within 1 degree of that. So that also is, it was like May 4th to May 9th, and it's starting to move down now. Today's the 9th, but in the zodiac now, it's in the measurement of the zodiac, it's now going stationary to retrograde. And we see that here too. So both ways, Mercury stationary, whether it's by declination or through the zodiacal measurement, we have this sense of what's the information that's coming to me. I need to take my time. I need to process. I had somebody ask me, and they listed off a whole bunch of things. I have this happening during retrograde and this and this and this. Does that mean I have to redo everything? And I guess that's a valid question if you're paying attention to, the fear mongering of what Mercury retrograde is about. No, you won't have to redo everything. Of course not. It's just important that we pay attention to just the details. Just pay attention to the details. Don't just hurry through life right now. And of course, if you want to hurry through life, you go right ahead and do that, whatever your focus is. But when Mercury is stationary, especially like today, May 9th, and tomorrow, May 10th, then it will take a little extra effort to do the things that you're trying to do. Filling out paperwork for something, whatever that is. You might not have checked all the boxes and just by accident, and you get it back. Don't make it a big deal. So take your time, be cautious, but just be okay. Don't worry. I don't want you to worry. Okay. That's the little extra about Mercury retrograde, Mercury stationary. Yeah, I know. People are going to put all kinds of memes up and things happen all the time. The moon today is at the very end of Leo. It's made its last, aspect to Saturn early this morning. It's called the Ptolemy aspects, which was an opposition. Quincunx is not part of the Ptolemy aspects, so the moon is considered void of course, meaning it's just gonna it's like free falling in the sign of Leo. However, I like using the quincunx, which is 5/12, 150 degrees, and by the time we get to the middle of the day, the moon will be quincunx, Pluto, Neptune. It's a little past Neptune, and Jupiter. So a true quincunx And a true yod actually is what I should say. The true yod, which is this little isosceles triangle you see right here, is a true yod is when the moon is at the apex of this configuration. What does all this mean? I would say, let me get the times for you, because the moon will move into Virgo. Once it moves into Virgo, this yod will no longer be valid. So I say, so between like 8:50 this morning, so around 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and all the way until it gets into Virgo, which will be just before 7 p.m. So we have daylight. So we have like 11, 12 hours today that the moon is creating 3 different quincunxes, which create this pattern, this isosceles triangle here, and that's called a yod. Anyways, a lot of astrology, I'm sorry. Let me tell you what it means. It means there's some adjusting to be happening here. We have many adjustments that need to be made. When we have this pattern, we are to focus on some details. Mercury retrograde will help us with that. We're supposed to focus in on certain details. You have to know what those are for you. I'm not going to tell you what those details are, because whereas 26 Leo in your chart is different than where it is in my chart. So I know what I'll be focusing on. And what will you be focusing on? Then you have to see where the other planets are. But overall, this is about making adjustments, allowing yourself time to, even if it's just a minute or two, just like a recognition, a realization, changing your mind about something, or just because you have new information, and then allowing that to like integrate into you rather quickly, honestly, because it's the moon. And then we have an opportunity for change and transformation. That's what this 11, 12-hour time period today on May 9th can represent, but it can feel frustrating to some people, because every time you try to do something, then you feel like you're coming up against some sort of hurdle or a closed door. And if it's something that's super important for you, then accept what it is, and or change your perspective. Transformation happens. You move forward. Now, this doesn't have to be every minute of the whole day. This could just be one main thing. All right. And it can release and let itself go quite quickly once you have this realization and recognition. All right. I had some stuff, not this, but had some stuff yesterday, which is really helping me rectify my chart. I have a couple different birth times. They're not too far apart, but I have a couple of birth times that I've been working on rectifying. So within 3 minutes, but I'm an astrologer. I want my birth time accurate. So whenever I have transits to my ascendant, especially from Mars, I can tell. Not usually an angry person, but I can get pretty argumentative when Mars is making an aspect to my ascendant. And I could tell as soon as it got past my ascendant, by the minute, that relieved itself. The anger, what I was pissed off about, just went away. Because it was just something internal that was bubbling up, and I had to work on it, and I did. I'm no different than you guys. I still have transits. Just because I can see them doesn't mean I handle them any better than anybody else. All right, we're rolling the dice. I've rolled it a couple times. I'm trying to choose something better than Saturn and Taurus and the 12th. I don't want to talk about that one. All right, are you ready? We're going to ask Spirit, what does Spirit want us to know? What is a little extra message for today? Let's roll these die. All right, 12th house stuff it is. That came up 3 rolls. So this time, what we have is the sun in Gemini in the 12th house. Oh, isn't that so appropriate? Because Mercury in the sky is in Gemini, retrograde, stationary. So when the sun, the extra message from Spirit is, oh, guys, I'm all over the place today. Sorry. The extra message from Spirit is the sun in Gemini in the 12th house. 12th house is our internal processes, the things we do inside, not externally. The sun is shine when the sun shines in that 12th house, it brings up those internal things. This happens to all of us once a year when the sun moves through the 12th house. So the roll of this dice, sun, Gemini information, internalized information, Sun, Gemini, 12th house. Can also mean that it could be shining the light. The sun is about shining the light. It could be shining the light on some of your hopes and dreams, some of the things that you've been dreaming about, bringing into reality. That's something you could do. It could also represent, let me search my file cabinet in my head. It could also represent that, maybe it is time for you to start. Well, it's always important to journal the internal stuff, but it could be that somebody out there or a few somebodies have something that needs to be brought to the light, right? Needs to be published, if you will, brought out. The 12th house is not necessarily about publishing, but the sun in Gemini in the 12th house says, hey, why don't you get that writing down on paper and start prepping that for what's next to get that information out, okay? So that's a possibility for some of us out there, whatever that happens to be. So take a look for that. See if that is something that's important for you. All right, Astro Dice aside, more astrology is over at Patreon. Please come and join me there. It's a way you can financially support all of this free content every single day. And if that doesn't work for you, book a session. If that doesn't work for you, how about thumbs up here on YouTube? That's fine with me. All right. And 45% of you aren't even subscribers that watch. So yeah, I would love it if you would subscribe. That will help just my channel grow, which is really important for me. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Grandmother Earth. Beautiful. This is about honoring the earth, getting outside. We're going to have some great weather finally here in New England this week. I'm going to play hooky. I have too much to do, so I can't. But hey, Grandmother Earth, respecting the earth, feeling grounded. So even when we have all of the things going on that are going on, whatever's going on in your world, whatever's going on in the world, if you pay attention to that, this card is just reminding us to, reach out to the ancestors. That's that grandmother because of the wisdom. It's very Capricorn energy, Grandmother Earth. It's Capricorn energy because Capricorn is feminine sign and Earth is Capricorn. It's cardinal Earth. And so so that energy reminds me of Capricorn. So it is about feeling very, very grounded, engaging in the wisdom of those around you, especially family, or just being quiet and taking those nature walks and feeling the earth and feeling, her wisdom as she's here in the Northern Hemisphere, as she's, breathing out and blooming. We're finally starting to get some leaves on the trees. I know it's almost mid-May, but that's typical for this part of the country. So yeah, it's a good day. Take it easy on yourselves when it comes to that Mercury retrograde. Don't have such a predisposed opinion of it. Makes your life a lot easier. I'll have the Mercury retrograde conversation that I have with Sue Coffin attached at the end. I will get the eclipse is coming on Friday. I wrote that forecast last night. I'm going to edit it today and get that posted on my blog post on my website. Please join the website and the newsletter email list, and you'll get it right in your inbox. It's just me, guys. I don't spam anybody. All you have to do is confirm that you want to be on the list. That's it. It's the only automated thing you'll ever get from me. All right. Thank you, guys. And always more. Take good care. Namaste.